Hey PlanHer Nation, welcome back. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I'm Brittany, and today we're going to be making St. Paddy's Day gift baskets. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe below so that you can get my weekly updates. I'll be posting a video every Saturday. Okay, so for this basket, we're going to need a few things. First, you're going to need a basket, of course. I chose this metal basket, so you'll need one of those. We need some parchment paper, Gorilla Glue, clear Elmer's glue, 2 paintbrushes, a little bit of ribbon, preferably green and thin, and then you'll need 3 things of tissue paper. So you want 2 black tissue papers and 1 green tissue paper. You'll also need some really cool St. Paddy's Day coins to decorate the basket. And I don't really know what these are called. They kind of look like little streamer things. So you'll need one of these. And of course, you'll need Spanish moss, some construction paper. So this is kind of like packing paper. You can get it just about anywhere. And it's somewhat 2-ply, it's a little thicker. Start with our parchment paper. Need a little sheet of parchment paper. So our basket can go on top of while we're making it. Alright, so we have our parchment paper. We'll set our basket on top. Then we're going to open one of our tissue papers, the black one. Wow, I'm not any good at this today. So we have some tissue paper. You notice it came with silver as well, but we won't need the silver. So we'll go ahead and put that over there. So we have some black tissue paper, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this tissue paper and we're going to start breaking pieces off of it. Different sizes, they can be small, large. You just want to kind of start tearing it into pieces. This might take a little time, but there's as many pieces as you can. You're going to need pretty much all of this. So we're going to use some black tissue paper to decorate the outside of our basket. So we really wanted to have that black cauldron St. Paddy's Day basket look. Getting quite a pile here now. Might look like a lot, but once you start putting on the basket, you're like, oh man, I might need more. So make sure you have the whole packet of tissue paper torn up. Alright, last sheet. Oh, actually, 2 more sheets. Thought we were going in there for the stretch, but I guess not. So, but the more you start to do it, the faster you kind of get at it, so. Okay. Whew. Are your arms burning like mine are? Because, oh my gosh, I feel like I just did a whole workout. Okay, so now we're ready for step 2. Okay, so now that we have our pile of tissue paper, we're ready to decorate the outside of our basket. So we're going to go ahead and take our clear Elmer's glue and we're going to pour quite a bit of it on our parchment paper so we can start adhering the tissue paper to the basket. First, I'm going to go ahead and hit my paintbrush. I'm going to kind of just start going through and putting the glue onto my basket. Add a couple pieces of our tissue paper next. But you want to add the glue first. Let's get it nice and sticky for your tissue paper so it'll stick. I'm just going to go ahead and add quite a bit. And then I'll start adding a few pieces of tissue paper. We'll stick another piece on there. There's not really no rhyme or reason to it, just making sure you're getting all the pieces that are, all the areas that are sticky. Make sure you put a piece of tissue paper on it. It's okay if it comes up and they're not perfect to the basket. We're going to go ahead and add more glue after we add a few pieces of tissue paper. So you see we have a few pieces, and now I'm going to add a little bit more glue on top of those pieces, just to stick them down to the basket. And it's okay, they get all wet and sticky, they're going to dry, and you're not going to be able to tell there was any glue in there to begin with. You just want to make sure they really stick to the basket, because we're going to add another layer of tissue paper here soon. Perfect, so then we'll add more pieces. I'm going to put one right there. Okay, so then we'll do another layer and we'll continue to do this, and we may need more glue, so add more glue to your parchment paper as needed. And for the rest of the front of the basket, we'll just do the same thing we did before. Try to paint the glue on the direction of the paper, or it'll kind of come up and really seal it down. And these are going this way, so I'm going to go ahead and paint them this way. Alright, we have a little bit left at the bottom, so go ahead and add a few more pieces to complete the front. Try to get some straight pieces so you have a nice straight edge at the bottom. You want to make sure that you glue right on that edge of the basket. And as you can see, getting it right on that lip of the bottom here, so that covers everything up. A straight piece, you need to make your pieces straighter if you don't have a lot of straight pieces. We're gonna put a little bit more glue. Go ahead and start adding to the side because we're going to cover this whole thing with tissue paper. So if you're already starting on the sides, that's fine. If you have some overlapping, you're going to cover the basket. So you want all the metal covered pretty much. And then I still have this top lip that we're going to add more tissue paper to. I told you we're going to need a lot of tissue paper. My pile's already shrinking. I don't know how yours is looking, but if you're anything like me, this was well worth all that arm work. So go ahead and add a little bit more glue on this lip piece here. We're not going to actually cover the basket on the inside with tissue paper, but if you happen to overlap the lip a little bit and go inside the basket just on this edge, it's totally fine. It'll actually look better that way. You notice my little pieces will be sticking up a little bit here to make it easier. Start sanding that down with more glue. So now the inside of the basket, you can see that I have a little bit up there. So I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing that down. Glue and just kind of smooth it down. Careful, you don't want your basket sticking to the parchment paper. You kind of go at an angle so it doesn't come back up the tissue paper. It wants to come back up if you rub it the wrong way. So I'm just kind of going at an angle and smoothing it all down. You see? I'll smooth it. Everything's flapped up, so go ahead and move to the sides of our basket. Nice, so far we have the front of our basket and the side. Now we're going to work our way to the back. More Elmer's glue, please. The same thing that we did to the front and the side, and we'll just go ahead and cover this with a coat of glue just so we can stick the tissue paper to it. Like before, you might have some overlap like we spoke about, which is fine because the whole basket ultimately will be covered in tissue paper, except for the inside. Unless you just want to do that for some reason, that's fine. I won't, but if you want to, go ahead. The sides are still pretty wet, and we have our last side before we do our handles. Let's go ahead and finish that out. Alright, looks like we have it covered pretty well on all of the sides. I'm going to go ahead and fix any areas that are showing. If you do have areas showing, just add some more tissue paper, and we're going to go ahead and cover the complete handles. So both these metal pieces that are holding the actual handle, so I'm going to cover it all. Wrapping paper around it. If you have some larger pieces or longer pieces, you can just wrap it around. It makes it a lot easier than just adding a lot of pieces. So you just kind of mold that tissue paper to the handle. Alright, now that our basket's dry, we're ready to move on to the next step. So we're going to go ahead and take our green ribbon, and we're going to cut off some ribbon and put it around our basket. I chose thin ribbon, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I'll take a piece and wrap it around our basket. Try to put it somewhere in the middle. I'm just going to tie a bow. A little excess left over, so I cut it off. Now we have a bow. And then we're going to do that again. Some more ribbon. Excess. There we have it. Add a ribbon to our basket. Alright, so that's step 3. Now we have a ribbon on our basket. We're ready going to proceed to the next step. So our next step, we're going to go ahead and take some of this craft paper. And you're going to take the craft paper and you're going to just crumble it. A ball, and then we're going to place it inside of our basket. This is going to create a nice area for our items that we stuffed the basket with to sit on top of. So that's why I chose a thicker ply craft paper, because the stuff, when things sit on top of it, it really holds the weight pretty well. So you want to kind of densely pack it in there. So when I put quite a bit of weight on it, it's going down to about here on the basket, which is pretty good. But you can add a little bit more, just to be safe. Just add it like current. Just a little bit more. And now we got our insert in our basket. Now we're ready to add our coins. So here are our lucky bag of coins. Or a pot of gold, and my coins are really cool because they all say get lucky on one side, and then the other side there's a 4-leaf clover. So you can use either side. We're going to adhere these to the basket. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put them everywhere? Do I want to put a band of them? We'll go ahead and we'll put a band of them. Next, you're going to need your Gorilla Glue. It's a wood glue. Stick these, a little bit of Gorilla Glue to the back of the coin. Add it. Hopefully that sticks and doesn't fall off. And I have the Get Lucky sign on the one side. I guess since I put that one on, then I'll put the clover showing on the next one. That's a little pattern. Put a little bit of space, about 1/4 of an inch between them. Or you can have them touching, it's really up to you. Get as creative as you'd like. I'm just going to continue to do that. If you have a little glue coming out the sides, which I kind of do, then we have another brush. And you can go ahead and clean those corners up. You can just take your brush and just wipe those edges if it's coming out of the sides. A band of coins. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom. So the bottom of the ribbon. If it doesn't want to stick, then just hold your finger there for a couple of seconds and hopefully it'll stay. There's always one in the bunch that doesn't, huh? Nice. Now we have 2 bands of gold coins. You might have some excess coins left over. Don't get rid of them. You're going to need them for the basket stuff. Or if you decide you want to make the basket double bling, it's fine. You can use your excess coins and you can put them on the back of the basket, which may not be a bad idea, but I just kind of want to differentiate the difference between the front of the basket and the back of the basket. So we'll just put it on the front for this basket, and if you decide to put more on the back, it'll look good as well. But I'm going to keep these and save these for next week's video where we actually stuff the basket. So put these to the side. We have 2 more steps, so let's let that dry a little bit and we'll move on to step 4. All right, now that our coins have adhered to our basket, we're going to go ahead and move on to step 4. We no longer need the wood glue. We don't need the scissors, and we don't need our foam brush anymore, so we'll get those out of the way. We can actually move the basket off the parchment paper since everything's dry. Next step, we're going to actually take our Spanish grass. I love this stuff for baskets. You'll see me use this quite often. It's called Spanish moss. So we're going to open our Spanish moss up. So we're going to just take a piece of our Spanish moss. We're going to rip it off. You'll see it will just go everywhere, which I expected. We're going to take it and we're going to kind of put it on the top of that craft paper that we inserted a little while earlier. Go ahead and keep doing that. Stuff it down in there. Oh, it looks pretty good. So we're good with that. Next, we're going to take that green tissue paper that we had from earlier and open that up. And what I usually like to do with this is I'll kind of take it and fold it in a triangle kind of shape. And we take it and we're going to stuff it in the back of the basket. So I'm going to really try to get it down past that craft paper, which worked pretty well. in there. We have to add more, that's fine, but you kind of just want it to look not too high, but not too low. I'll be able to see it pretty well sticking up there, but kind of like to make it even on the sides. Got the centerpiece kind of sticking up the highest, and then the two sides are lower. And the centerpiece, it creates a hierarchy for the basket, so visually it'll draw people's attention to the center of the basket. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here. And then we're going to add one more piece, and we're going to do the same thing in the front, but it won't stick up as high. We kind of want to really push the front piece down so that you just get kind of a hint of the tissue paper in front. You want to see it, but you don't want to see it as much as you see it in the back of the basket. So we do the same thing. We take it and we kind of take it like we're just going to handkerchief it like that, kind of a V, and then we're going to stick it in the front of the basket. Just stick your fingers down there. It should stay. That. And in the front, like I said, you just want little peaks of it. You don't want it too big in the front, because when you put your items that you stuff the basket with, you don't want it covering those items up. You want people's attention really drawn to the items and to the back of the basket. And there you have it. All right, our basket's looking pretty good. I'm ready for St. Paddy's Day. I don't know about you, but whoever you decide to give this to, or if you keep it for yourself, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an enjoyable item. So we have one more step, and then we have our St. Paddy's Day basket. So get excited. So last and final step, we're going to take our, I didn't know what to even call these things, so they kind of look like, well, they're just a decorative piece, that's what we'll call it. We're going to take this, and right now, as you see it, it's pretty tall, so like if I stick that in the basket, it's going to be a little too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this at the bottom, the metal piece, and I'm just going to bend it down and up, just so we can take off a little bit of height off of this. And we're going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to push this in the back of our basket. And manipulate it so that it looks even. And on the side, our tissue paper's in there. And there you guys have it. You have your St. Patrick's Day basket. Wanting to make one of these, you can go ahead and look in the description, and it should give you links for everything you need to make this basket. It'll even give you pricing, so you know how much I spent on it and how much you expect to spend on it. And we're gonna go ahead and stuff this basket. That's my favorite part about gift basketing. We're gonna be stuffing our St. Paddy's Day basket that we made, and we have a variety of items over here that we're gonna put in our basket. So we have a really cool St. Patrick's Day mug. We're gonna put that in there. I also found these really funny party mustaches, which you can peel and stick. So, and there's enough for what, like 6 people. So if you're going to a party, you can bring these along. Really funny, lots of fun. We'll also be putting beef jerky. I love beef jerky. For any of those of you that know me, I love me some beef jerky. So we're gonna add that to our basket too. If you're drinking a lot for St. Paddy's Day, or just hanging out with people that are drinking, it's a great snack. What every party needs are green party strings. So make sure you take this along with you if you're going out anywhere, and you know, kind of trick some of your friends, surprise them. They may not know you have it. It's always a lot of fun. And then I found these really cool sunglasses. They have disco balls on them. I mean, they're not really sunglasses unless they have disco balls, right? They're really fun. Goes great with my hat. You know, life of the party as always. So those will be really nice in our basket as well. And then, thinking ahead, so if you're one of those people like I am that forgets to charge their phone just about everywhere you go, it's always dying, we're going to put in an emergency charger in our gift basket too, just to be prepared. And then we have, last but not least, we have some of those lucky coins that we had from our basket build left over. So we're going to add those in our basket as well. Okay, so let's get started. So, we have our basket. Kind of don't want to touch it because you're like, oh man, it's really cute. Do I want to mess with it? But it'll be fine. So we're going to take our cup first, and I'm going to take my beef jerky, and I'm just going to go ahead and place that inside my cup like that, and then, no, we won't put that in. We'll go ahead and put this in the middle. And like I said, we have that craft paper inside here, so you can go ahead and just push down. Get it right nice and tight in there. should give a little bit and allow you to put your cup in there so the cup's not just popping out. Should be pretty sturdy. Next, we're going to add our party mustaches. So we want those to be seen, so we'll probably pull our tissue paper back a little bit. And we'll just throw those in there like that. We got our party mustaches and our mug. We are ready. Next, we'll put our charging cable. Probably, we don't want to cover up our decorations over here too much, so just throw them behind the mug a little bit and push that down. So this is what we should have. And our sunglasses. Go ahead and fold those up. We'll put those in the front of the basket. Should people know they have their glasses? Okay. We have our party string. Can't wait to use this. I'm so excited. Alright, so maybe we'll put that behind the sunglasses. There's a little bit of space. Might have to manipulate where the sunglasses kind of sit. Huge disco balls on the sunglasses, taking up a bit of space, but that's alright. So as you can see, then we have our party coins. Yay! I'm gonna put a few party coins in my cup, and then I'm gonna throw some just in the basket randomly. And there we have it. We've got a pretty cool St. Patrick's Day basket, and everything's in there. So we're pretty well prepared. Like I said, these make awesome gifts for your friend or your family, or even if you're just gonna do like a table centerpiece, you can definitely just put it on a table. People love it on your office desk. It looks very festive. We built our basket and we stuffed it, so definitely make one of these because people would love to have one. Just so you know, I'm going to be doing a basket giveaway. So if you're interested in winning this basket right here, go ahead down to the comments and reply with basket. All you have to type is basket. And I'll choose one lucky winner and you'll have your St. Paddy's Day basket. Thanks again for joining me, guys. I'll see you next week. Have another great basket planned. And as always, much love, the planner. Thanks, guys.